Hey friends, it's Iggy from the Investing Iguana. Quick question. Does it feel like cash isn't pulling its weight anymore? A year ago, parking money in safe places was easy. Great yields, little fuss. Now rates are sliding and the stuff that used to work doesn't look as hot. Let's walk through this together. I'll show where the yields really are today, what changed, and the exact playbook I'm using to park cash smartly without taking silly risks. Here's the game plan for this video, following the Substack post step by step. First, the big picture of why safe yields are dropping. Then we'll go through T-bills, fixed deposits, and SSBs in that order. After that, we'll look at alternatives like cash management accounts and the USD options. Finally, I'll share my 3-tier cash strategy for September 2025. If you're new here, I've spent years breaking down investing in Singapore, so you don't have to stress. Think of me as your friendly finance consultant over Kopi. So first up, the big picture, why safe yields are dropping. The headline is simple. Rates are coming down because inflation pressure is easing and central banks are loosening their grip. Good for borrowers, less great for savers. The clearest sign? The 6-month Singapore T-bill. It's been sliding all year. Imagine a simple table that tracks each auction this year. It starts near 3% early in the year, then steps down month after month, landing at around 1.38% by September. That trend tells a story. We can't rely on yesterday's yields. The question becomes, what gives the best value now based on our needs? Liquidity, safety, or locking in rates before they fall further? That context is important because it shapes every choice that follows. And here's the key reflection. Are we still hunting headline numbers or picking the right instrument for the right job? That brings us to option 1, T-bills, the fading star. For the last couple of years, T-bills were the easy win. Simple, government-backed, nice yields. But now, the latest 6-month auction closed at about 1.38% per annum. That's a big step down and one of the lowest levels since early 2022. So what does that really mean for us? Honestly, it means the juice isn't worth the squeeze right now. If T-bills pay less than the best fixed deposits and the process is a bit more effort, it's hard to justify for fresh cash. If you already hold some, no problem. Just let them mature. But new money, I'd pass for now. Here's the part I find especially important. When yields compress, the safe instruments reorder themselves. T-bills no longer sit at the top for short-term parking. Now, option 2, fixed deposits, the quiet contender. As T-bills slipped, banks still have to compete for deposits. That opens a window. Picture a straightforward table of the best bank offers today. Bank of China tops the 3-month tier for small deposits. DBS stands out with 1.60% per annum for 9 or 12 months with just 1,000 minimum. That's clean, and it beats the latest T-bill yield. And yes, deposits are insured up to 100,000 Singapore dollars per bank under SDIC. This is where I go more direct. I'd consider fixed deposits a buy now for money that won't be needed in 6 to 12 months. No complex bidding, no surprises on payout, just a solid defensive lock at 1.60% for a year. The reflection to sit with, if short-term safety is the goal, does a guaranteed 1.60% for 9 to 12 months make more sense than a 1.38% T-bill? For me, yes. Next, option 3, Singapore savings bonds, the long game. SSBs serve a different purpose in the cash stack. They aren't for emergency funds. They are for locking in rates over time with flexibility. The latest issuance offers about 1.56% in year 1 and a 10-year average around 1.93%. Yes, that's lower than earlier this year. But the unique edge is the lock with liquidity. Redeem anytime without penalty and get principal plus accrued interest. That's rare. Think of it as future-proofing a slice of savings against further rate cuts. My take is clear. Buy for the long term. I like using SSBs to bulletproof longer-term cash or funds that can sit. Perfect for folks who want stability across a multi-year window. If there's one question to ask here, it's this. What portion of cash should be insulated from a further rate slide? For me, SSBs answer that. Now, are the alternatives worth a look? This is where cash management accounts come in. These are offered by robo-advisors and brokerages, usually investing into money market funds or short-term bonds. The key advantages: daily liquidity and typically higher yields than a plain savings account. The caveat: they are investment products, not SDIC insured, and not capital guaranteed. Imagine a quick comparison table. Fullerton SGD Cash Fund shows about 1.76% indicative yield. SIFE Cash Plus Guaranteed sits at around 1.30%, but it's a guaranteed rate tied to a term. The broker cash accounts like Moo or Tiger vary but offer daily liquidity. The way I use them, as a Tier 2 buffer, after fixed deposits, for funds that still need flexibility. But here's the caution I always repeat. Understand that yields can move, and capital isn't guaranteed. Ask, is the extra 0.2 to 0.4% worth the risk trade-off for this slice of cash? Halftime note, by the way, if you want all the reference tables and the written version, everything is on Substack. The link is right below. It's a nice companion if you like to compare options at a glance. Let's talk about the US dollar temptation. You'll see USD fixed deposit rates around 4% in the market. That looks great until you factor in foreign exchange risk. If the USD weakens against SGD, the FX loss can erase that extra interest. So my honest advice, don't convert SGD to USD just to chase a yield. That's not cash parking. That's currency speculation. If you already have USD or you have USD expenses coming up, sure, then these can be useful. Otherwise, skip the conversion. The key question here is simple. Are we earning interest or making an FX bet? Be clear with yourself before moving. All right, let's bring it together with my actionable 3-tier cash strategy for September 2025. Tier 1 is the emergency fund, 3 to 6 months of expenses. This needs instant access. Keep it in a high-yield savings account. The aim is not the highest return. It's being able to tap it today without penalty or price risk. One rule I live by, emergency money should never feel locked. Tier 2 is short-term savings, cash needed in 6 to 18 months. This is where fixed deposits shine right now. Lock in about 1.60% with a 9 to 12-month tenure. It's simple, safe, and beats the T-bill at current levels. This is the workhorse bucket for near-term plans. Renovations, tuition, wedding budgets. I'd rather have clarity and certainty here than chase. Tier 3 is long-term cash, funds not touched for at least 2 years. Build a position in SSBs. You get that 10-year average near 1.93% and the right to redeem anytime. It's like having your cake and eating it. Longer-term lock, but with an escape hatch if life changes. I also like this as a core piece for capital that must be preserved without market volatility stress. Here's my honest take after doing this with thousands of investors. What matters most is matching time horizon to the instrument. The frustration usually comes when we ask a short-term product to do a long-term job, or vice versa. If I could give you one thing to remember, it's this. Design the buckets first, then pick the tool. Yields change, discipline endures. So, if you're planning your next move, here's what I'd keep in mind. 1. Cash is about purpose before profit. 2. Fixed deposits beat T-bills, for now on short-term yields. 3. Use SSBs to lock a base rate for the next decade with flexibility built in. And 4. Treat USD yields with care unless you already live in USD. What are you looking at this month? Tell me in the comments. I read everyone. If this helped, consider joining the premium community. Members get early access to deep dives, model tables, and quarterly live Q&As where we go line by line through portfolios. It's a great group and a nice way to support the work. And if you want to continue, watch the next video where I compare savings accounts and cash management funds side by side and show a simple decision tree you can use in under 5 minutes. See you there, and keep your cash smart.